Hello, everyone. Once again, it's a great honor and a great privilege to have my friend, longtime friend, business colleague, who has something he has been cooking all this month, planning, preparing us, and I want to create a platform to help businesses and professionals to have innovative way to build their business, grow their influence, and grow their income. Talking about creating challenges. Martyn, how are you today?
FA, I'm very well. Thank you very much indeed for inviting me along.
Good. And in the last few months, Martyn, we'll be talking about, and you'll be telling me how excited you are about teaching people how they can create challenge to build their network, to grow their business, and make better use of their expertise services. Martyn, what are the importance of creating challenges in any enterprise?
First of all, I didn't know why these people were doing challenges, apart from maybe to teach a few people how to do something, and then maybe those people would follow. But there's a lot more to it than that. So what I discovered was that challenges, they don't need to be long. Challenges are where you meet somebody on Zoom or a group of people on Zoom and you teach them the basics of something. In my case, hopefully they will be interested enough to stay with you on a journey that takes them from being a beginner at something. And once they've joined, they can upgrade to paid for options that teach them even more, or give them support, or give them content, maybe landing pages in my case, and something that they can work with to take their business from where it is now, which is, as for beginners, is at point A, let's say, and to take it to the next level, which may be point B. And so I offer them, in my case, challenges that will, or a challenge that will run over 5 days. And by the end of day 5, they will be able to achieve something that they set out to achieve. So challenges are important because without them, there's no introduction. They're not getting to know you. They're not coming on board with you. They don't know you exist. But if you offer a challenge and that tempts them to come on board with you, either paid or free, I do mine low cost. I'd say $7 or something, and they come on board and you've got qualified leads already coming through your system where you're offering them a service, you're teaching them, and they can benefit from that. And in turn, they can do the same thing and make money from their audience
Yeah.
while you're helping them at all times.
Oh, that's awesome. From what you said, now, so what would you say are some of the key components that makes a successful challenge?
I think a successful challenge, you already need to know who your target audience are. I have tried before generally advertising online or leaving posts, etc., so that whoever reads them may come along. But that doesn't work very well at all. If it's a free challenge, you may get 2 or 3 turn up on day 1. By day 2, they've gone. They've lost nothing. There's nothing for them. They haven't paid anything. The way I think of starting out properly is to identify your audience. And by knowing who your audience are, you can put yourself in front of them. In my case, it's beginners for a certain platform. And I will invite those beginners on that platform to come along to my challenge and build a list. And once you've got a few people on it, it's well worth going ahead with. And you think, this is going to be exciting. So it builds your confidence in teaching others. And that is the way I would start off, introduce them to the challenge. Once they're on it, there are other strategies, of course, to keep them interested.
That's very good because having a niche is very important because the message, the content that you use to promote and deliver the challenge will be very specific and compelling to them. You made mention of doing a 5-day challenge. And when you say 5-day, does it run for the whole day, for each day, or is set up for a specific time, a block of time on each day?
5-day challenges are normally short. So over the 5 days, you may do, let's say for argument's sake, an hour a day. So that isn't too long for busy people. That isn't too long for people that don't really know you and aren't really sure. And an hour seems to be a good starting point. Yes, it may be shorter, but you can always take do questions at the end of the session, so to fill up your time for an hour. Or if you run over a little bit, nobody will mind if they're learning something and you're helping them. So I aim for an hour each day, and it has to be at a time slot that's suitable for those that live abroad. In the UK, we could be 9 o'clock at night, but it's only, say, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon somewhere else. But if I did mine at 10 in the morning, then it would be the early hours of the morning somewhere else. So you've got to watch your timing. And I think there are times of the day where you can capture most people either late morning, afternoon, or early evening. That suits them. And of course, you can always record the sessions, and I advise you to do so, so that you can either make them available for free for people that missed it, or after a certain time say, okay, there's a charge if you want to see them. So you can make your time and your valuable content, you can monetize it and make it worthwhile by doing that.
Great, thank you. Now, having said that, is there any particular expertise? Because when you say running a challenge now, it involves you or whoever's running challenge to talk about something. Is there any particular expertise someone needs to learn to be able to run the challenge successfully, make it engaging, make it fun for the audience? Is there any particular expertise one needs to master?
In my case, I don't stop talking, so that's a good start. I always feel that if a little bit more than your audience do about a subject, then you become an authority. I'll give you an example. If you're in a Facebook group and you'll notice that a lot of the questions are answered by those that already know, they've been there, they've walked the talk, if you like, and they are qualified in that case to answer the question. And I think if you know just a little bit more about who you're speaking to, then that's a good start. Once you're on the actual challenge, you do need to know about timings, which my accuracy is never with timings. I was either too short or too long, but with expertise, in other words, you've run a few of them, you've experienced a few of them, you can bring that down to a fine art. I tend to introduce slideshow presentations, and each slide prompts me to say what I need to say about what they're seeing. And if you can keep it entertaining by adding snippets of valuable information and interacting with the audience, then that's the expertise, if you've got that, will keep them on that call. To bring them in for the next day, for the following day, I tend to, certainly in the past, I'm going to make a few changes in future because I've learned a lot in the last few months since working on this new one for the new year. But you can tell them what you've done and they'll relate to that because they've just done it, and tell them what's coming up the next day, and the retention rate will be good. If you don't tell them what's coming next day, or there's nothing to interact with for the next day, you're not giving anything away, then you'll find that 100 people may turn up for the first show, the second day only 43, third day only 21, and so on. You must keep the retention rate up to stand more chance of the upsell, the call to action, which is going to happen on day 5 or after day 5.
That's very good. The structure is very important. I know that. So with the one you've been working on, Martyn, do you have anything you want to tell us about it? What do people stand to benefit from it? And a little bit information about it?
The first thing that I did was build a challenge, the 5-day challenge on email marketing, because one of the first things you need to do when you're in business online is get people onto a list where you can send out emails to them on a regular basis, and therefore you build up a relationship with them. So that would be a good idea, and that's what I did. I ran through a test or a pilot version in front of other people that were doing similar, and they said it's all very well, but first of all, you're too complicated, you've gone too deep, and also when you're running a challenge, you need it to be something unique about it, because I'm running mine January, February time. We've yet to set the final date, but it's for a new year. And there are hundreds or even thousands of similar challenges that they could pick and choose to join that may be about email marketing. So you're in a pond filled with other people doing similar thing. So I changed it and I added, with the help of AI, because AI, you're either fed up with at the moment, and if you are, you're probably not using it correctly. because it can be so helpful. I introduced AI because it's the buzz of what's happening at the moment. It's going to be our future, and it really does quicken the time you would have needed to spend with email marketing to make it work for you. So my challenges are all about beginners getting started with email marketing, segmenting the lists and sending welcome email sequences, etc., getting to know them, as well as getting them to pay for things, your content and your services, using the help of AI to speed up the whole process, which is normally very long and it can take you a year before you build up a relationship. AI can make you do that in a fraction of the time.
That's very useful. And I like that you are very specific with your niche subject, a niche topic, email marketing. I think every business needs to learn to master email marketing so that they can generate quality lead, get clients, and increase sales and make profit. So thank you very much, Martyn. That's very useful information. And I hope audience listening to this will pick up the challenge and learn how to use it to build their business. Thank you, Martyn.
Thank you very much indeed. And I'll give you the link to join in if you want to. admin@martynbrown.com, and just let me know you're interested and I'll keep in touch. Martyn with a Y, and I can help you with other things as well, but let's do one step at a time. If this is a chance for you to come on board, thank you very much. Thank you, FA, for inviting me.
Thank you, Martyn, for sharing the link for them to contact you.